thank you all for being here. We're very excited about this event. This is our inaugural online Community Connects event for Stillborn and Infant Loss Support, or SAILS. My name is Joanne Zerdy. I'm a member of the board of directors. I joined last June, so I've been part of the organization for about 7 months now. And I'm really excited about this event series. We're going to talk a little bit more about the series later on. And so just before we kind of get into the kind of nuts and bolts of the conversation, I just want to just kind of a couple of like housekeeping things. As I said, you'll be muted during the session. The plan is to have a Q&A towards the end of the conversation this evening. And we'll invite you to you can enter questions through chat, or you could put up your little hand icon and we're happy to call on you if you want us to elaborate on anything or clarify anything we've talked about. That would be great. And then also towards the end, we'll ask if you have any suggestions for future topics. We're planning all of 2022 to meet once a month in this kind of format. And so we have some topics decided, but we have plenty of room for suggestions from you all too. So we'll be asking you to think about that. So just be thinking. If you're not sure, just listen to what we're talking about, and then something might pop into your head, or you're always welcome to reach out. You can follow SAILS on Facebook, on Instagram, if you don't already, connect in lots of different ways through the website, etc. We're really grateful that you are taking the time and making the space to be with us this evening. We know that there's so much going on in our individual lives, in our communities, in the world. It's a very challenging time, and we want this to be a forum for us to come together with a diverse, geographically, ethnically, life situation wise, a group of people who are interested in these topics around grief, loss, healing, maternal health, perinatal mental health, etc. So again, thank you for being here. We have a little bit of an agenda to kind of talk a little bit about the mission of Stillborn and Infant Loss Support, and Sadija, our founder, is going to talk about that. We'll briefly introduce the members of the board who are here, so you can kind of put faces to names. Talk a little bit about 2021. What are some of the highlights, some of the projects that we've been working on and are really happy about and want to share with you all, and then what's coming up this year. And then, like I said, we're hoping to have a Q&A with you all. So that is the plan for this evening. And I'll turn it over to you now, Sadija, to talk a little bit about when and how you founded SAILS and what we're doing here.
Awesome. Thank you, Joanne. Again, I'm Sadija A. Smiley. I am the founder and CEO of Stillborn and Infant Loss Support. I founded the organization in November of 2017. Many of you may know me and know personally that my first daughter was stillborn, Aviana Celine, in 2003. And so she is the inspiration behind the organization, and the reason that we are here to help support other grieving families that have experienced the loss of their pregnancy or their baby before their first birthday. Our programs and services are focused in 3 main areas: family support, hospital support, and raising awareness. And that's really how we got started. I have my team here. They are amazing. So I thank you again, guys, for supporting me and going along with my vision. I don't always have all the details, but I got the big picture idea, and my team is very supportive in helping carry that out and deliver and provide the support and resources that the grieving families need. So again, thank you, Joanne, for hosting this. It feels good to sit back. I'm a mute and I'm gonna talk when she tells me it's my turn again. So thank you all again for being here. I appreciate it.
Great, thank you, Sadija. Certainly the heart of this organization. So now we're just going to briefly introduce, we have 3 board members thus far. Someone else might be joining us in a little while. And so I'll start. Hi, I'm Joanne Zerdy. I'm located in Asheville, North Carolina. As I said, I joined the board last year, and I joined SAILS because I met Sadija. We started talking, and as a grieving mother myself, my first child died in childbirth 7.5 years ago. I felt really compelled by the work that she was doing and the board was doing, supporting families. And also as an educator and a grief worker, I felt like this would be a great way to contribute my skills, my passion, my interests, and the work that I'm doing now in a really focused way in terms of perinatal loss support. So I'm really happy to be part of this organization. Angela, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Angela Mendelson. I joined the board shortly after Sadija started. I think it was cold in 2018, so winter 2018. I know Sadija through a previous job that I had, and I just felt, while I don't have a direct connection to loss, I just felt like there's quite a need for this, what we're doing as SAILS, and so I wanted to support that and support Sadija, and I've been on and still going, and I just agreed to be the president of the board, which is like crazy to me, but yeah, it's been awesome, like watching what we started with and like this one little idea become all these things that we're doing, and then all the ideas we have for the future. I'm excited to see it happen. So that's me.
Great. Thank you, Angela. And thank you for all the work that you do. Chris, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Allen. You can see on my screen, also Craveable's Catering. So I met Sadija through an event that we were supposed to have a couple of years ago, but due to COVID, we weren't able to proceed with it. So through conversation, Sadija found out that I was an accounting professional, and she was looking for a board treasurer. So I came on last year as interim treasurer, kind of helping out with the financials, getting things straight. And my schedule is so crazy. But Sadija and the team has been very patient with me, and they have actually voted me on as the actual treasurer for SAILS. So I'm looking forward to growing with Sadija and the organization and making things happen.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. And thank you for all of your amazing work. There are a couple more board members. They're not here. One has said she is going to be here, hopefully, Lorena White. And then we have another board member, Lakeith Sutton. We're hoping he shows up, but we know, again, everything going on in the world, things are subject to change. I see a question right there. Are you looking for board members at this time? This is, yeah, something that we have an event coming up in a few months that was going to be focused on board recruitment, but maybe Sadija, do you want to respond to that, or Angela?
I guess really quick, yes, the answer is yes. We are definitely one of the needs that we really have is for a board secretary right now. But we are looking for board members. We plan to have a recruitment event this spring. And so just stay tuned. If you're interested and you're ready to rock and roll now, send us an email. You can email us at admin@bornintosilence.org. You can send us a message on Facebook or a DM on Instagram, and we will give you all the information that you need about how the process works.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Yeah, so we wanted to, like I said, talk a little bit about last year. I mean, instead of giving kind of the whole history of the organization and everything that Sadija and the team has done over the last few years, we wanted to kind of focus on what's just been going on and where is our focus heading in 2022. So we wanted to first mention the Survivor Summit. I'm seeing some familiar names. I know some of you attended. And I was going to ask Sadija if you could just talk a little bit about the Survivor Summit, what it is for those of you who are not familiar with it. There's another one coming up this year, so we want to kind of put it on the save the date, put it on your calendar now. But yeah, maybe talk a little bit about what the impetus for creating the Survivor Summit and where the money goes that is raised by it.
Awesome. So the Survivor Summit was created to bring together both the loss community, those individuals that have experienced the loss of their baby, and the broader community, those that are around us at work that are providing the services and support for us through the healthcare system, bring us together, because there were a lot of questions about how do I support someone who's going through this? And then we had individuals who are on this journey with us asking, how do I connect with others who are like me or others who have a need or inspiration to be a support to me? And so the Survivor Summit was created to bridge that gap. And so at the summit, it's evolved now. Initially, we had speakers in person, We only had one summit in person, and we're going on our fourth one, which will be virtual. So the inaugural summit was in person in a small library space. We run from 11 to 2. And we have educational presentations. We have information from personal experience as well as professional experience. In the first half of the event, there's a break, kind of a intermission with some music or a DJ, and if we're in person, some mix and mingle virtually. And then the second half of the event is a panel discussion where we invite individuals to answer questions both from the host or the panel moderator, as well as the community and those who have questions through the chat or when we're in person raising their hand. All of the proceeds from the Survivor Summit go towards our purchase of a CuddleCot. So if you follow us on social media, you know that we recently donated a CuddleCot, and our goal is to donate one CuddleCot per year to a local hospital. And so last year at the Survivor Summit, the third annual one, we had over 40 guests and we raised over $2,600. And so a CuddleCot is about $3,500. And so we raised from the event almost 100%. And then we had supporters that were able to make the difference up between that. And so this year we have the summit coming up. I think it's on the agenda for me to talk about that a little later.
Great, thank you so much. Angela, would you pick up from there? Maybe in case anyone isn't familiar with a CuddleCot, will you just kind of explain what it is and then about the donation that was made?
Sure. So a CuddleCot is kind of like a little bassinet or a Moses basket that has like a cooling mat in it that allows a family to spend time with their baby after it passes, and it kind of slows the process that the body automatically goes into when it passes away. And so this just gives a family experiencing stillbirth or something just time to, hold their baby, be with their baby, take pictures if they want, just make some memories before they have to say goodbye and start the process of all of that. So this year we actually last week on Wednesday, we donated to Shady Grove Medical Center in Rockville. We did it in 2022, but that was our 2021 donation. It was just with everything going on and getting it there. But yeah, I think it's really, it's just really cool. We've just been kind of reaching out to different hospitals to see if they have one, if they need one, so that we can, identify, hopefully every hospital in Maryland one day will have one. And if it's because of us, that's really cool. So that's the CuddleCot. Great.
Thank you so much. And yes, when both Sadija's daughter and my son died, we didn't know about CuddleCots. They weren't offered. It wasn't something that was available. And it's often grieving parents, families, communities that come together to raise money to donate a CuddleCot to a medical center, a hospital, a birth center, because they know how precious any time is with their baby. So it's really a powerful, I think, it can really change the experience that someone has with their baby to know that they have some time. It of course never will be enough, but it's really a beautiful gift and really a community effort. So it's amazing that through the summit, raising funds and to be able to provide that gift to families. Thank you, Ashley Marie. So then I'd like Sadija to talk a little bit about, so the Survivor Summit, the CuddleCot donation is one part of what SAILS does. And we also work directly with families through providing care packages, support of love and care and compassion. And so Sadija, if you could talk a little bit about that, how that works.
Yeah, so we offer keepsake boxes. So there's two sizes, if you will. We have the large wooden hand-carved keepsake box that has 3 different quotes that are carved in the top of that box. And inside the contents are a mug, tea bags to help the family or the mom, the dad relax a little. There's a pillow in there that says either our daughter, our son, or our baby, depending on the sex of the baby and if they knew. There's some resources also in there for when they are home and settled that they can reach out and connect to as well. And there's an inspirational journal, a bookmark, and just some things to kind of help the families as they journey on. We also have a smaller box that we send out either directly to the family if it's requested, or we've also given them to one of our 2 hospital partners, which we have one of our partners on today, Howard County General or Baltimore Medical Center. And so we donate those boxes, as well as families can request them either through Instagram, Facebook, or sending a message on our website, and we will send the boxes out directly to the family. So they go out in 2 ways. We make twice-a-year donations to hospitals, and then they can also be requested by a family member or a friend or by the person themselves, and we will send them out directly to the family via mail.
Great, thank you. And this is, I teach perinatal loss trainings to doulas, birth workers, death workers, and this is something we talk about a lot is, you know, having something tangible when we do not bring our babies home, right? Or we lose a pregnancy early on and don't get to have that time at all, that it can be something really powerful to have these objects to hold on to and keepsakes and things to write on and keep with you. So it's really a beautiful a way to connect directly with families, but then also to provide support to the birth centers and hospitals who are going to be seeing the families who experience these losses. So Sadija already mentioned Amanda, or at least inadvertently with Howard County in terms of a partner. And Amanda, I would love for you to introduce yourself and to talk a little bit about the Angel IV Burial Cremation Fund.
Yes, hello, my name is Amanda Meneses. I've been working with SAILS for a couple of years now. Sadija and I partnered up, and I think actually the first project you guys did for us was creating our little miscarriage care packages for us. So that was awesome when we expanded our program on labor and delivery to include early miscarriage, not just later pregnancy loss. But our more recent and bigger project was the Angel IV Burial Cremation Fund. When Sadija and I met a couple of times, she asked me, like, what else? Like, what could really help people? And I said, honestly, one of the more heartbreaking situations that we face is a family who not only loses their baby, but then can't afford to bury their baby and has to make a really heart-wrenching decision to donate the remains of their baby, not because that's their choice, but because they feel backed up into a corner and they just don't have the financial means to have a burial or cremation. Nobody ever plans to bury their child. And so Sadija was like, okay, let me see what we can do. So SAILS got the funds together, and a few months ago, we had our first family who had just that situation. And I'm the perinatal bereavement coordinator at Howard County General, and we have a pretty extensive program with a support group and a lot of employee education and whatnot. And so I had educated my staff here on the availability of the program, and they called me at home one day and was like, Amanda, we have somebody. And we got right a hold of SAILS and were able to orchestrate the transfer of the funds to the funeral home of the family's choice. And we're able to complete those arrangements for the family. And they were able to make a decision that sat well with them and that could give them peace and the longevity. So yeah, it's been great.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you for doing, first of all, for doing all the work you're doing at the hospital with patients, with families. I mean, as a grieving mother, I'm grateful for everything you do. And this, I love that this fund named Angel IV, of course, for Sadija's Iviana, it just starts to expand the community even more, right? Recognizing what are the needs, what are the resources. And I know Angela and our intern had worked with, contacting funeral homes, even setting it up, like the logistics of this, right? Trying to figure out what would be needed, how we would exchange funds, et cetera. So it's taken a real team effort to put this into place. And I know we're all, well, of course, we do not wish that there were families who would be in this position. We're hoping that these funds become more available to others so it can make these heart-wrenching decisions, even if that much tiny bit easier so that they feel good about what they're able to do. So thank you all involved with that. So we want to move on to 2022. Again, we're just kind of giving you a snapshot of what's been going on and where we're heading. Angela, could you talk a little bit about the SAILS calendar? This is very exciting. This has been promoting this, circulating it, and we'd love for you all to know about it so you can tell people and we can spread the word.
Yes, we've had some delays, but we are almost to print. And so we are actually putting out a 2022, but it'll go through February 2023 calendar. And the proceeds of that will help us fund the Angel Ivy Cremation and Burial Fund so that we can continue to support families as the need arises. So I'll drop a link to the calendar in the chat, but the calendar, we've had people submit their stories of their, their different losses. And so each month features a family or a baby or someone who wanted to share their story. And then there's some tips and some different things that you can use as resources within the calendar as well. So we're really excited to get it out to everyone, hopefully very soon. The stories and the pictures are just really pretty. And we had a volunteer create it for us, and she knocked it out of the park. We just got to get it to the printer. So we thought we were there, and we had a little sizing thing, but we're getting there. So hopefully in the next couple of days we'll have it.
Thank you, Angela. And we're hoping, right, that this will become a regular thing. Is that right, Sadija and Angela? Each year we'll have a calendar. So the calls for submissions for people who are interested in having their story be part of the calendar. And we're hoping, as we kind of get this, the logistics of it in a way, that we'll have it available, by the end of end of 22, we would have 2023.
Yeah, my goal is to start putting a call out soon for 2023 so that we can have 2023 calendar done before 2023 comes.
Thank you. I know that you've been working a lot, a lot of hours, a lot of conversations in the calendar, Angela. So thank you for all of that. Sadija, do you want to share a little bit about the Survivor Summit? Anything you want to share about it? The theme, the date, anything that's scheduled already, or what to look out for, or calls for involvement, etc.?
Yes, all of the above. So our fourth annual Survivor Summit our Survivor Summit is always the last Saturday in August. So this year it's going to be August the 27th. It'll run from 11 a.m. To 4 p.m. And the last two have been virtual. So this one will be virtual as well. We are exploring a hybrid option. So keep your fingers crossed. If you're a person that desires to be in person, we may have an option for you. What's amazing about the Survivor Summit in the last couple of years is, because it's been virtual, we've been able to push beyond our city and our state of Maryland. We had individuals attend and participate from outside the country. One of our speakers last year, a panelist, was from Canada. I see Renee here. Renee was on our panel last year as well. And she also inspired this year's theme. Her and I were having a conversation, and she said something to me, and it stood out to me. And what she said was, it's a family affair. We were talking about loss and, how it involves more than just the mom or the dad or the parents or, grandparents, that everybody feels this. And Renee shared her story, being the sibling of a lost baby, and including losing her own. And so it's so dynamic that this year's theme is, it's a family affair. And so you can look out to hear perspectives from all family members and everyone that is tied to that baby. We're going to put out a call for speakers. We do have some in mind that we work with on a regular basis, or we watch. So if you're following us and we're following you guys, you probably have been asked by me already, depending on your area of expertise, but we are looking for speakers. So if you have an interest in presenting on how loss impacts the family, please reach out to us using that admin email. We also are looking for partners and sponsors. There's various ways to partner with us in terms of sharing on social media, sharing with your following, your newsletter list, as well as being a financial sponsor, being able to contribute monetarily, as well as in-kind sponsors as well. Because if you've attended in the past, we do raffles and giveaways and things of that nature. And again, all of the proceeds from our Survivor Summit will go to purchase our 2022 CuddleCot to the hospital that we select or designate this year. Our organization is 92, maybe 93% powered by volunteers. So if you're interested and you're looking, you have a graphic design background or anything, any gift or talent that you want to share, please let us know, because volunteering is truly a work of art and we thrive and are powered by volunteers. So if there's any skill or talent, we can drop the link to the application if you're interested in ways to get involved.
Excellent. Thank you. Yes, I meant to put that on the agenda too, just to call out for volunteers and just like spreading the word. And even if it's not you, but you know someone or you have a friend or a colleague who's like, I want to do something, or they've gone through their own loss and they want to give back to the community. Like there are lots of different ways to connect. And certainly as SAILS continues to grow its board and projects, we're going to be looking to recruit, in the months and years ahead. So even if now is not the right time for you or someone but you want to kind of stay in the loop, make sure to stay connected. So now I want to talk just a little bit about this series, kind of what the vision of it is and what we have planned and what we don't yet have planned. So yeah, as Sadi just said, we met through social media and we're talking, and then I teach various pregnancy loss trainings, and I asked her to be a guest speaker in one of my trainings. And we kept talking, and then she said, oh, we're looking for board members. And I was like, oh, this feels like the right time to really bring our work together. And one of the things that I said in joining the board that I was really interested in was bringing my background. I was a university professor in the arts when my son died, and that just kind of changed my life course, as it does for many. And so, but education is really important to me, both like in a classroom setting, but also education thought about broadly, right? Sharing ideas, sharing resources, exchanging perspectives, being curious and compassionate and connecting with others in meaningful ways. And so when I joined the board, I said, I'd love to kind of bring my experience as an educator and as a researcher and as a collaborator. And it would be great to build on the broader reach of the summit now that it's virtual, and to actually have a forum so people can come together more often than once a year in August. And Sadija's like, that's great, because a lot of people are saying, I want to go to the summit and I want to stay connected. And for some people that's through social media, but not for everyone. So we want to figure out a way to do this. So I proposed, and then I've been working with Sadija and the board on a monthly series throughout 2022. So each month there'll be a different topic. We're rotating through, each of us being an organizer. And we're kind of offering this an hour-long session. It'll be at different times of the month, depending on the availability of the organizer and the people they bring together. And we have a few things set, and then we have some open spaces in terms of topics. So that's why we're kind of also interested in what you all would be looking forward to hearing about or learning about or connecting through. So this is our first kind of inaugural event. We figured let's use this as a platform to talk about a little bit about SAILS and kind of what we have going on. And then we have a few events, at least kind of topics figured out for the coming months. So next month, Lorena, who unfortunately isn't here yet, but another board member, is organizing a topic about caring for your body after loss. So really thinking about the physical and emotional, parts of going through pregnancy loss, infant loss, and some of tips and ways to support ourselves, our individual bodies, but also those that in our communities who go through these losses. Then Chris is going to be organizing an event in March. Chris, would you like to maybe just briefly talk about Budgeting Made Simple, kind of what your thoughts were?
I know a lot of people, during this COVID era are kind of struggling with their finances, and I wanted to, find a way to share some information, probably bring on a couple of experts. I know I have a couple of people that I want to introduce to the platform who can probably help as far as, books and, things that they can share with the group. So basically that's all it is, just a way to get people to understand their finances and budget a little bit better in the future.
Great. Well, thanks. As I was looking at it and as I'm listening to you talk, I think certainly in thinking about pregnancy loss, pregnancy after loss, like thinking about the financial elements, that we have so many things that we're juggling. And so when someone's grieving or a family member that can be really daunting to also figure out. So I feel like that will be helpful in kind of also connecting to this community where when you're going through something really difficult, the last thing you want is kind of complicated financial stuff that you're also worried about. So I feel like that will speak broadly to different kinds of, audience members. That's great. In April, I'm organizing the next event, and it's going to be a grieving dads roundtable discussion. So bringing together a few different speakers with different experiences to talk about what it was like for them to lose a baby, to go through grief, to process with a partner. We know a lot of times still the attention is on the mother or the pregnant person. And sometimes the father or the partner isn't really brought into the conversation as much, or is expected to kind of be strong, or all of these things. So I really wanted to highlight that kind of from that father perspective. So that'll be coming up in April. In May, we have an event that Sadija is going to organize, empowering families to get back in the kitchen. Sadija, do you want to just mention briefly about what you're thinking about with that?
Sure. And it's funny because my co-host, or I guess she will probably lead, and I'll be co-hosting. Amanda Kidd is actually going to help. We were talking and brainstorming about ways to just get families in the kitchen, simple meal prepping recipes. We're trying to iron out if we'll be able to send out kits with all the ingredients in there. You'll have a shopping list and things like that. And so we're really excited. This is a partnership between Beat the Rush Delivery and SAILS to bring that workshop to our families. So I'm excited about that as well.
That's great. Thank you. And then, like I mentioned, or we've mentioned, that we're going to have a Meet the Board recruitment event too, coming up in June that Angela is going to lead, I believe. Maybe. Yeah. You want to say anything more about that?
I haven't really gotten much thought on that. I've been focused on the calendar. But, at that time, kind of putting out there what our, board needs are, our volunteer needs, introducing, who we are and any new people we have, and then just kind of putting it out there what our needs are, because we know that once people know what we need, we tend to figure out how to get them. People come to us, so that need gets met. But it only gets met when we talk about it. So we will have a chance for people to ask questions about what does it mean to be on the board and that kind of thing. So that's kind of my thought, but I'll figure it out more.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And then the only other thing that we have right now scheduled for this year in terms of these monthly events is in October, on or around October 15th, so remembering Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day, hosting an event, organizing an event. Angela is also going to be kind of spearheading that.
Yeah, pre-COVID, we did an in-person wave of lighting, and it was really powerful and really just it was nice. And so I think, in this world, I don't know if people are wanting to be together, and who knows what October will look like. Hopefully better. But this way, we can from all over get together and, remember the babies that have been lost and that, we're grieving. So some way to acknowledge the wave of light and the month. And so that's what we'll do.
Excellent. So we have other months that we don't have topics yet. As I said, we're rotating. So some of the board members who aren't here are also, thinking about what they're going to do. But it would be great if you have any thoughts right now that you'd like to share. You're welcome to put them in chat. If something comes to mind, we have a long list of different topic suggestions that we've been creating over the last few months. We're of course always looking for different topics because, something that one of you all said might be exactly what we need to do. And we're hoping, assuming that this year goes well and people attend and are interested, we'd like to make this a regular thing to keep up these connections into 2023 and beyond. So even if there's something that we're not able to do this year, there's always a chance that we might be able to include it in a future calendar. So if anything comes to mind, again, you're always welcome to reach out to SAILS at any point through social media or through the website to say, oh, I have an idea for an event, or, oh, I know someone who'd be a great guest, or, what have you. We're always looking to connect. That's really the idea. Online community connects. So that's kind of all the formal information we have. We have about 15 minutes. So I'd love to open it up to questions or comments. You're welcome to put it in chat. You're welcome to, if you want to put your little hand icon on, we can call on you. If there's anything you want to say or anything you would like us to elaborate on or anything like that. I'm just seeing in the chat, Ashley's comment about being a NICU baby and yeah, Premature Awareness Month. We can definitely add that to our list of topics, thinking ahead to next year. Human trafficking. Yes, incredibly important. Losing a multiple. Yes. That's true. That's a particular inflection of loss. That's, I mean, each of loss, I say every loss counts. Every loss matters, whether it's 5 minutes or whether it's, you know, a baby lives for a year, like it matters. They all count. And certainly that's one when there's another child who does survive and you're grappling with that. I know that's happened in my family.
Looks like we got one hand raised, Joanne.
Great.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Sadija. I put in there for those of us who have not experienced an angel baby loss, just something that came to mind as you were talking, just an educational session for those who have not experienced that, how we can support and, you know, what to say, what not to say, and how to just be supportive for those who have lost angel babies. Because if you've not experienced that, you don't know what is appropriate, what's inappropriate. So that just came to mind as soon as you said that. So that was all I wanted to share. Thank you.
That's great. Yes, absolutely. That did come up. At our retreat last fall, when we started talking about this, that was one of the things that came up, how to support those who want to support, even if they haven't, you know, especially if they haven't gone through the loss and they're kind of feel at a loss for what to say or do. So that's great. Thank you, Georgette. And yeah, Michelle.
Hello. Hey, Sadija. How you doing? Awesome. I had a question for I guess the in-kind, or when you do like your events and you're like raffling off items, is there certain items that you are looking for, or will that be put out before the events, like the list of items that you would like for raffling off?
It is a good question. Typically in the past, what we've done is the donor or the organization that's looking to donate will say, I'll donate X of in-kind. Because it's virtual, we are going to have a request for some gift cards and e-gift cards since we're not able to deliver them. One of the other things, if it's a product, we do ask that the donor or the organization that's donating it include in their gift the mailing cost, so that way they can ship it out directly to the winner of the raffle. But we've had things from pop sockets, t-shirts, books, magnets, mugs, you know, anything that the organization or the individual is open to donate. And then we'll create either a basket or raffle them off individually, depending on what's donated.
Okay, because I signed up for Amazon, so let me know like which event and different things, and I'll cover the cost and ship it for that.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Thank you all for your generosity of spirit and goods and anything else that can serve the families and support the cause. So yeah, any other questions or thoughts or something that's on your brain right now that you want to share? I see the chat are coming, which is great. But if there's anything that you want to say, yeah, Katrina?
I just want to say, yeah, I mean, this is just such an amazing and wonderful foundation. And Sadija, oh my God. I mean, when I ran across, I never met her in person, but I ran across her article from Andre from That's Right. And I saw that she, and I said, oh my God, I said, she has a nonprofit for infant lost. And I was just like, you know, I was like, oh my God, it just touched me so much. And I reached out to her right away and, you know, shared my story. And it's just so touching what you do, because for women, because I lost this touch a little bit of my story. I had a stillborn, and it was a little girl, and her name was Maria Francina Shaw, and I lost her at 22 weeks. And it's just, you know, and it's just a point of when you losing a child, and I like the things that you do, because like you said, that with the cooling system and the cot, because we would, like you said, when I lost the baby, they they gave us time to spend with her, spend it with her and stuff like that. And so what you're doing with the CuddleCot and all that, and it just everything. And then it just so happened that I lost my baby at GBMC, anybody that's from Maryland, and they gave us like a memory box. And on my first step, as far as when a healing mom losing a child, a stillborn, is you have to recognize the loss. And they gave us a memory box. So I had her sonogram stuff in there. I had a journal in there, like her clothes. They did take pictures, and her little baby clothes. So the memory box is when you open it, you're going through the memories and cherishing your baby. And then when you close it, it's like, having that closure. And my her anniversary date was this week, and just seeing the newsletter from you all, I mean, it was just, it just touched my heart. I'm just, just thank you. I'm just thanking you and for this organization. And I'm gonna be delighted to volunteer and help and to do whatever I can do, because this group is just so amazing and blessing to people that have lost a child in any way. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I'm sending love to you and to your little one, your little girl. Thank you. So we have just a few minutes left. If the SAILS host support groups, well, that's a good question. Sadija, do you want to take that up?
Yes. So right now we are hosting our grief recovery support in person here in our Laurel office. This spring, we will be launching online support. So we do offer both individual and group in person, and then in the spring we will be offering virtual and online grief support. So stay tuned, make sure you sign up I'm gonna keep pushing you all to the list, because it's a lot of information that comes out in our newsletter. Make sure you sign up so that you receive that if you have any questions again or anything like that. So stay connected with us. We will be launching online grief support groups, both individual and group, if you're interested. And so just thank you guys. I ain't gonna cry, but I probably will. I'm just overwhelmed. I think that just the connection, and when Joanne mentioned this, and when we talked about the name Online Community Connects, that's truly what this has been for the majority of you here. I have not met you in person. We connected literally online. Like, I can go through most of these faces and say I met you online, and I might have met you in person after that, or I may still have not seen you physically and been able to touch you. But the internet and social media are powerful tools when used correctly. So it's just awesome to see you all, to have you come out and share and really sow in, to the ministry. And I always say to people that I believe in God. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. And I do understand the timing and certain things, but I do not believe that Aviana died so that I can help people. I believe that because Aviana died, I'm able to help people. And so you guys are all witnesses and partners in that journey. And I just want to encourage you guys. It's just amazing, because as Angela mentioned, this was an idea. You have to have at least 3 people to start your organization. It was me, and I called 2 other individuals, and they said yes. And it wasn't just random people. I didn't call Angela just because I needed a space filler. I called her because I knew the work that she did, how we worked together, and I knew she would be committed. It was the 3 of us in the library. Once a month, we started meeting in the library, and it's just grown so much since then. Because of your support, families are able to speak out. We feel comfortable mentioning our babies. We feel comfortable, even if a tear falls, we feel comfortable to hug and love and mention and call our babies' names. And so I'm just grateful for you all allowing me to champion this vision, but I don't do it alone. And so I'm grateful for your support and for you being there with me every step of the way, as I enjoy, and it's a privilege to journey with you every step of the way, whether you have experienced it personally or not. We are all connected and we need each other. You're not alone. You see the faces, whether it's a profile picture or a nod doing this. We are in this together. And I'm just grateful that you all allow me to be here with you, support you. And you guys are here for me, because I have my days too. It's not easy, and I can reach out to you all, and you guys are all here for me. But I'm stop. I know we got a few minutes. I see one more hand, and so I'm gonna yield and wait for Joanne to tell me when it's time to talk again.
Thank you, Sadija. Renee, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I had to say something after hearing Katrina when she mentioned her memory box. My sister, Mercy Lee, passed away 35 years ago. And at the time, my mom, at the passing, it was just very cold. You know, they removed the baby. My mom came home with a picture back, you know, it was very little said, very little, you know, I knew there was a picture in the house, and we really didn't talk about her much after that. But over the years, I think all of us sometimes would say, well, if Mercy was here, I guess Mercy had something to do with this. You know, we would always kind of bring her up. And when I met Sadija, I got to tell her not only the stories of my losses, of my beautiful babies, but I also got to tell her the story of my sister Mercy. And the beautiful thing was that last year, my mom and dad, I have to say my mom and dad, were presented with memory boxes, and they got to pick out through, and this is through SAILS, they were able to pick out the color of the flowers inside the box. They got to pick out the lettering that went on the box. And it was just such a joy watching my mom and dad interact. For Mercy's sake, you know, to pick out the box and to think about what color she would like. And it was like they were transported back to their 30s when, you know, when she was born. And it was just so cute to watch. And my sister really came alive in, I know that sounds strange, but Mercy really came alive in 2021, thanks to SAILS. And thank you, Sadija, and all of you that played a part in that, and just making my mom and dad have their experience of not only grieving, but celebrating my sister. We went all out and had a whole month dedicated. We called it Mercy May. And we just celebrated. We wore our SAILS t-shirts and took pictures together, and our pink tennis shoes to match. And, you know, it was just a beautiful time. So thank you for giving that gift to my family.
Oh, it's beautiful, Renee. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing Mercy with us. I just want to say also thank you to those of you who have dropped in, like your organization or your email. We do hope as we move through these events that we, again, are like sharing resources and connecting people beyond, you know, the SAILS organization to who else. There's so many amazing organizations doing work across relative fields. And so we are grateful for all the work they're doing. We do this together, right? Like the more we collaborate and share, the stronger we all are, and the more education we spread and the more healing we spread. So that's really important. So thank you all for doing that. We're just about at time. So I want to wrap up this evening's event. Say a couple of things. Again, this recording we're going to make available on the SAILS website in the coming days. So if someone wanted to come and hear about the organization but wasn't able to come tonight, you can send them to the website. Again, join the newsletter if you haven't joined it, and or follow on social media. Though we know social media doesn't necessarily make it to your feed, so the newsletter is likely to kind of end up in your inbox. And keep an eye out. We don't have yet the dates for the monthly events, but we'll be confirming them soon. So keep an eye out for that. Think about that calendar. If you want to purchase one or purchase one for someone, or just share word about it, that would be great. Yeah, I think that's it. I truly thank you for being here tonight, for sharing, and for bringing your loving hearts to this conversation and to this work. Sadija, do you want to say anything to wrap it up, or?
No, I just want to thank you, Joanne, again for not only having the idea, but the muscle behind it. Anybody else who runs an organization or leads, you know, we are full of ideas. We don't have enough time to carry them out. So it's always helpful when you have a team that will not only make the suggestion, but they are also the solution and will put plans and things in place to help carry that out. So I'm just want to thank my team again. Joanne, Angela, Chris, Lorena, and Lakeith. They're not here, but I want to thank them. I want to thank Amanda for trusting me early in our nonprofit journey and partnering with us. And she works you see, she still got on her scrub. She work at the hospital. So shout out to you, Amanda. Your 12-hour shift. She got off a minute ago, so we can let her go so she can get some rest. But we're grateful and thankful for you and your partnership. And just shouting out a couple of people. Again, I met most of y'all online and you guys show up for me. I know Michelle is here. I saw Liz. I see Jessica. I see Jessie. Jesse's another one I met online, never seen in person yet. But I hope to get out to meet you all. And Andrea is here. She partnered with us on that CuddleCot to Shady Grove Medical Center. So shout out to Missing Peace Initiative as she transitions to doula work and breastfeeding counseling. Shout out to Amanda, who's 411 Kids, just everybody. I just thank you all for being here, showing up. I hope that you were encouraged. I hope you have some good resources, information. I hope you're intrigued to come back and join us again next month. Reach out to me, whether social media, through our email, if you're interested in being involved, and stay connected. I love online communication. I love the name. It's exactly what we are, connecting the community. And so it's awesome. It's so dope to watch things come to fruition after years and years of plugging along. You don't always get to see it, but again, Angela was right there with me at the table in the library. We're trying to figure this thing out, but we're moving and we're shaking. Thank you, Katrina, for sharing. Thank you, Renee, for sharing. Just thank you, everybody. I see Luana. I can call everybody's name. I'm gonna get to know Ashley Marie. We've been talking in the chat, so I'm just excited to see you all here. I see my accountability partners from my coaching program. They showed up. So just thank you guys. And just stay connected. Stay tuned for everything that's coming down the pipe.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we hope to see you again soon.
Bye.